episode of what we like to call, what's it called, Tom?
Off the Ranch.
Off the Ranch, where we just, excuse me, that was my chair, I swear. Anyway, so we thought we'd do a little show, after show, and talk about what made us decide to do this little thing and things like that. So, you want to tell them how we got the inspiration?
The inspiration?
To do this show?
Well,
Let's start with my mom.
Yeah.
Your grandma.
So, my grandma, and we were FaceTiming her, and she recommended that we watch this show called The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch.
Yes, The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch.
On Hulu.
Which is it's on the History Channel.
Yeah, on the History Channel, or you can get it on Hulu and probably a bunch of other things. But, and so...
Streamable.
Yeah, it's streamable. So we decided to watch it, and we thought that it was so...
unintentionally hilarious.
Like, because it's supposed to be a serious show.
It is supposed to be, yes.
But it's just not.
It's absolutely absurd. The line in one of the episodes where, who's the rocket?
Caitlin, yeah.
Caitlin says, I've never seen so many
stupid smart people
in my entire life. That basically encapsulates the show.
Mm-hmm.
You've got people with numerous PhDs in astrophysics and all kinds of stuff, and they are just ridiculously dumb on figuring things out.
And so he was like, well, we should remake this show. And he kept saying that every episode that we would watch was like, we need to remake this show. And we were like, and I was like, okay, let's remake the show because it's so stupid. Let's just remake it.
Yeah, we don't really have to do much of our own because it is, the dialogue that we do is from the...
Most of it is of the actual scripts because we write every single thing down.
Yeah, we take notes on the episodes and then we make sure that we shoot all the shots with the same, areas or whatever, and then we make sure that we say specific things that they actually said. And in the first episode, we were pretty
serious.
Played it pretty straight, just tried to recreate the show, basically. And then... we just went off the rails.
We went completely off the rails.
Because they're just, the Travis character is just so ridiculously absurd that we just had to... It just kind of grew from there.
Yeah.
But, so, that's where the idea came from. Plus, you were out of school.
I was out of school. Well, I was in school, but we were at home, and it was all online and stuff.
Right, because of COVID. So we decided to start doing stuff just to do stuff over the summer, and we started doing this. And
now I'm back in school.
So it's been taking longer to shoot, yes.
We usually put one out, every month.
Yeah, it takes us about a month to film and edit. And the editing takes a long time because it is just the two of us.
Yeah. And
so it has to make it look like we're actually having a conversation with 4, 5, sometimes 6 people, and it gets difficult.
Yeah.
And plus, I use iMovie to do it, and it's really easy to use, and it does, what we need it for. But, it was kind of a feeling out process of how to do this and how to do that. I had to learn that you could actually use audio from video only instead of we were actually recording conversations and playing them back.
Yeah.
And you could hear it. You can tell on the first episode of that, but
and I still have those on my phone.
Yeah, she still has recordings, but anyway, so who's your favorite character to play?
My favorite character to play is Candace.
Candace.
Because first of all, she's the only female character on the entire show.
Well, that's true. I never noticed that.
And besides Caitlin, but she's not a main character.
Well, besides people will bring in. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
So Candace is the only female character that I play, or on the entire show, and she's just got such an attitude.
Yeah, poor Tom. Tom L. Yeah, my Tom. He just always seems to kind of be playing second fiddle to her. She's definitely the one that wears the pants in that relationship.
It's not actually like that. on the show.
No, they seem to be equal, but we decided to make them that way.
We
and-
decided to make where she just dominates.
Yeah, there's not nearly as much animosity towards Jim either.
No.
Except from Dragon. That episode where,
He yells at him.
yeah.
That is real.
So I don't get, I don't have an opinion because I don't have,
That-
an
yeah,
F and PhD.
that is real.
Yeah, that is real.
But we just make every character hate Jim.
Yeah, just
Literally
everyone
every
hates
single
Jim.
one.
We made, obviously they didn't stuff him in a trunk.
No,
we just-
obviously not.
We just made him ride back there for everything because nobody likes him.
We made Tom absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I guess we made caricatures of
Yes.
them. We took these little traits of them and just blew them
Exploded
up.
them,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, like Tom loves to just seemingly
Do whatever.
just poke around at stuff, and even though he shouldn't.
He really should.
I mean, he's the one that volunteers to go in the room, and this is the guy whose skull got separated
Yeah.
from his scalp or whatever. So yet he's still like, he says what the first thing they told him is don't dig.
Don't dig, and he's
he
like,
grabs a backhoe.
We animated Travis too. We
Yeah.
animated Dragon a little bit.
Well, Travis is my favorite
Your
character to
favorite.
play, and without him, at least in ours, everything kind of starts falling flat. He definitely is the one that.
Kind of brings it to life.
Yeah, he propels the story along and propels the episode and he really is like that. I mean, if you
He
haven't watched
really
the
is.
show, he really is like that, just frantic about stuff. Like he talks
really
just
is.
like that. I mean, real just up and down with the speech. He really gets a little crazy with it. He's definitely my favorite character to play.
Yours would, yeah.
Who's your second favorite?
Tom. My
This Tom?
second favorite is Tom.
Yeah, mine would be Dragon for sure.
Yeah.
And like you said, you played Tom. You played Tom perfectly. And as we went along, we started just growing into our characters and really
Mm-hmm.
becoming them, But yeah, Dragon's my favorite just because on the show even, this guy just seems to take himself way too seriously.
Way too
He's just
seriously.
like always carrying a firearm. He's always carrying a shotgun.
He's 100% loyal to Brandon.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, just blind loyalty to him, and he just seems to he so desperately wants to be this tactical military guy or
Yeah.
something. He's got the black gloves and
yeah.
sunglasses and the hat, and
Just dresses all in black. Like,
the only thing that he doesn't wear is like a Kevlar bulletproof vest.
that's the only thing.
Like he's going into combat or something. But yeah, he really takes himself too seriously.
Mm-hmm.
But what's really funny about him is he's really sensitive.
He's very sensitive.
Like he tears up on stuff. He cares about them. Even Jim.
Oh, and by
But-
the way, we made Dragon and Tom's relationship way more
Yeah.
special than
Yeah,
it
yeah.
actually is.
Yeah. Yeah, the reunited thing was good.
Yeah.
And we usually just come up with stuff. We'll
Mm-hmm.
film something and go, one of us will say, wouldn't it be funny if this happened? Or, oh, we're going to edit it this way.
Yeah, or like, what if we did this? Or what if, yeah.
When we film something, I usually see how I want it to look and from the angle of the camera and stuff. And then we'll just kind of do it. And then we'll say, oh, wouldn't it be funny if,
We did
so-and-so
this.
said
Yeah.
something. And we just kind of got a feel for it as we went along. We started realizing how important it is to have response shots. To have, while
Yes.
someone's speaking, don't just have the camera on them. Show somebody's response, like
Reaction
nodding. Yeah,
or-
reaction.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and we found out how important that is.
Yeah.
What are the hardest scenes to film?
The hardest scenes to film. Wow. Honestly, they'd probably be all the outside shots. Because
Our neighborhood's very, very loud. Is that why?
That's why.
Yeah, we have
and
a
also,
very dog-friendly
a
neighborhood.
very dog friendly. Like every single house has a dog.
Everyone has a dog.
And another reason is because it's been ridiculously hot.
Oh God, yeah.
And it's finally fall and it's finally started cooling down.
Yeah.
If you've noticed, I've started wearing long sleeve shirts.
Yeah, it's October. What is today's date? 18th?
The 17th.
17th, and this has really been the first time since filming this entire show, or whatever you want to call it, that we weren't just dying outside. I mean,
The first episode we ever filmed, we filmed it in a heat wave.
yeah, there was a heat advisory. Don't go outside, and we're out there. It was 100 degrees. and we were just wearing this. I'm wearing all black, you know.
Yeah,
And,
and we're just dying, and
yeah, I forgot about the heat. Yeah.
the heat, and now there's freeze warnings, and we're just like,
And now we're out there with freeze warnings. Yeah. So we finally bought a green screen, and we're testing it. So
yeah,
this may or may not be a nice background, or it's just going to be a green screen. But either
a backdrop,
way,
basically.
right? Basically, there's going to be something back
Yeah.
there.
Another thing would be like, what's character development? Like, we've a bunch of characters that have developed and evolved so much on our show. Where, you know, in the beginning we had Eric wearing this shirt, and we had Tom wearing a plaid red with Candace's hat, and like we had a bunch of different.
Oh yeah, we actually bought this hat.
Yeah, we had to buy this hat.
Yeah, we were
for
at
Tom
Walmart and we bought it
specifically.
for Tom. Yes.
Yeah, and now it's completely mangled.
Yeah, it gets more and more mangled as the show goes
Yeah.
on. So.
But what would be your favorite outside characters? Like,
Oh man.
for like
I don't even have to think about it. Drone guy.
Derek.
Yeah, Derek the drone guy was one of my favorite characters because he was just like, it's like the whole thing where Travis describes him. I want this big fool, you know, with
Oh
a
my
jar
gosh,
head.
the
And,
scene where they're at the round table trying to figure out what to do, and Travis starts explaining this drone guy.
Yeah.
It's literally one of my favorite
yeah,
scenes.
that's one of my favorite Travis scenes. Is where he's like, I want the big fool with the dragon on steroids, and but yeah, definitely him. I love the part where we came up with the idea of where, you know, Travis is saying, you know, this drone's a piece of crap and everything, and then we cut to Derek and he's like, I'd watch my mouth.
Watch my mouth if I were you,
watch
yeah.
he's over there with his little drone
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, definitely drone guy, Derek,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just so funny. But that's another thing is, I'll ask you who your favorite off camera or not main character, whatever, outside character is in a second. But that's another thing, like the scene with Travis where he's describing the drone guy. Those are all ad-libbed by us.
Everything is
Yeah,
ad-libbed.
we don't.
We have a main idea, like we write, you know, when we watch the real episodes and take notes on them, so we know what we're trying to say, but we make it funnier by just
Yeah.
ad-libbing everything.
Yeah, like we know, like at the roundtable discussions that they have to discuss, you know, wormholes. I mean, the thing's right over there, but
Wormholes,
like
yeah.
we know that they're gonna have to discuss that, and which, by the way, is the epitome of the ridiculousness of the show. But so we know that through the conversation we have to do that. But how we do it is up to us, and usually we'll say something about, you know, the concept, but then we'll just go off the rails. Like we knew that everybody had to get a biosensor, and we just came up with the idea of giving, you know, we pulled out a bunch of watches, and then I had this really cheap watch, and I'm like, well, why don't we just give this one to Jim? And
Jim's $4.
poor Jim gets his $4
Tom
one.
gets the bougie rose gold
Yeah,
one.
yeah, Tom gets it. Who's your favorite person that we bring in off?
Oh
you know, off of,
my favorite one, what hands down, is Zach. I literally
Zach.
love playing
Yeah.
Zach.
And Zach was like that. Like he had these old like 80s kind of risky
Sunglasses,
business
yeah.
glasses, and he was just Joe Cool. I think he had a shirt with the sleeves cut off, or no? Or
He
something
had
like
like a tank top, and then he had like overalls, and then
Oh, that's
like
right.
a
Yeah, the
shirt under
overalls.
it.
Yeah, that's
And-
another thing. We have to ad lib that too. Like, okay, what are we gonna get for these people to wear?
yeah, what, yeah.
My wife really does work
At
at Harley Davidson, and so everything that we get as a prop or costume or whatever, it almost always, especially the outside people that come in,
Mm-hmm.
it always says Harley Davidson on it. Just like everything we find. Okay, we're gonna have the chief. He's gonna have a Harley Davidson vest. You know.
Derek had a Harley Davidson
Yeah.
hat on.
We had Dragon sits on my Harley. I mean, yeah, Harley Davidson. The drone guy had a Harley hat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody has a Harley Davidson paraphernalia.
And
in some
every
way.
time somebody has a Harley Davidson item, Travis has to point
Yeah,
it out.
Travis has to point that out, that how much he loves Harley Davidson so much that he married someone who works at Harley Davidson, which is kind of like me. I don't love it that much that I married her. It's just that I had to marry someone from Harley Davidson,
No.
but I did marry someone who works at Harley
Yeah,
Davidson.
right. Yeah.
The other challenges, I guess, are, besides the noise, is heat, and then anytime we have to use the dogs for our dogs.
Our dogs, yeah.
it's difficult to get them. One of our dogs is really old, and so we use her as any mangled.
A mutilated cow in the first episode. Mutilated
That
alpacas.
was one of my favorite ideas that we had, was to use her as a mutilated cow.
And then we've got Baby over here as our alpacas, our ranch dog.
Before photo.
Before photo.
And Baby's the one that's always in the scene.
She's-
She
She's
right here
bomb.
right now.
She's right here.
Yeah, she just has to be in every single scene. The other one, whenever you hear this sort of clicking sound, yeah, it's kind of this scraping, clicking. That's our older dog. She has a bum leg that she kind of drags, and she follows us everywhere. And so you can hear it
She
in the
follows
background.
you everywhere.
Oh, I know what I was going to mention is the other thing besides the costumes to come up with stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Is props. Like just coming up ideas. We're like, okay, well,
Like,
this has a
what
drone
are we-
in it.
What are we going to use for the
Yeah,
drone?
what are we going to use
What
for
are
a
we
drone?
going to use for the weather balloons? What
Yeah.
are we going to use for the rockets? What are we going to use for this? What are we
Yeah.
going to use for that?
And we just kind of walk around the house and think of stuff. I mean, the rocket one was your idea with just this little Nerf
This Nerf
pop
rocket, yeah.
and then I shot it in slow motion where it looked like it was shooting out, and then
Yeah.
I put in a sound effect. The
The
drone was good.
drone.
The drone was a car buffer that spun.
And I had this little RC car when I was like
Oh God!
really, really little.
God, you were like 2 or something.
And it was like a Littlest Pet Shop one. And we used this pink remote for the drone.
Yeah.
And
You got the big plastic antenna
Yeah.
and stuff, and we kind of like that too. Is we deliberately try to make it look hokey.
yeah,
The fact that those walkie-talkies that we use are real walkie-talkies.
yeah.
They were a Christmas present, and they're pink, which is perfect because Dragon would never use a pink walkie-talkie.
Never.
We use our metronome.
That was me.
Yeah, the metronome idea. That was yours.
Was for Geiger counters.
Yeah, Geiger counters and really
GPRs and everything.
yeah, anything that requires any
Like
sensory.
measuring.
Yeah,
stuff.
measuring.
Like Casey uses
Yeah.
those. Travis, Jim.
Yeah. We have a GPS unit
Mm-hmm.
that we use for various just investigations or
Yeah.
whatever.
The GPR is the lawnmower.
The lawnmower one. That was a good one. And us running with that lawnmower. The other one, we used the Switch.
Yes, the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, that
yes.
was our GPR
Like measure.
screen or
thing.
whatever. Yeah, that you can measure stuff.
Yeah.
And the car scenes are fun.
Oh my gosh, my hands down favorite scenes to film are the
They're
car scenes.
really hard to film. And then on the days that we always film car scenes, it's always like 100 degrees. And so you'll notice, A, that we're usually not moving, and B, the doors are open. But what are you going to do? You know. Now,
But,
sometimes
yeah.
we'll film some stuff we're moving, and we'll just throw it in
Yeah.
there.
But hands down, my favorite scenes are those.
Yeah, the car scenes, we just started making those up, and we just said, well, why don't we have them listening to music all the time, and start using all this different... Once we did the reunited scene, that's when we're like, well,
That's
let's start...
when we got to start playing.
Yeah, we
music.
started putting music in there, and everyone has their own little songs, and so
And one scene that we actually are driving is in this episode.
yeah,
Tom and Candace are driving.
yeah, we actually drove around
We-
and filmed. Yeah,
Yeah, we did, and we had to go to Kroger dressed like that.
Yes,
Dressed like
we had-
Candace and Tom.
this
and
is true.
He looked pretty normal, but I cannot tell you how many weird looks I got.
Oh
from
yeah, you had
people.
that cow hat on, and
People are just like, what the heck?
yeah,
Why is
I had
she
a
dressed?
flan-
He's just dressed normal, and
He had a
everyone-
flannel and a baseball hat, so.
Yeah, but I'm just like, oh my god, I'm
Yeah, people-
so embarrassed. Like,
But anyway, that's this is our first little off the ranch episode, and we might have more. And we're testing
Oh,
out
we
the green screen, and maybe after watching each episode, we'll do a little off the ranch of that episode because I'm sure we're forgetting stuff. But as my wife likes to say, I think we're just making these for ourselves because we seem to be the only ones that find them funny, but we
and
love making them. Grandma loves them because she watches Skinwalker Ranch. So, but yeah, I think it's funnier to us than anybody. But we love doing it, and Skinwalker Ranch only has 2 more episodes. Double episode 6, right?
Double episode 6,
Yeah.
yeah. So we're just gonna call it episode 7 and episode 8. I'm pretty sure because it's kind of confusing.
I thought it was 6 and 7, but
Well, this is 6.
oh, it is.
The other one is 6.
This is
and there's 7. So we're just gonna do 6, 7, 8 because there are actually 8 episodes. But also, once all 8 episodes are filmed and uploaded, he'll start doing bloopers.
Oh God.
Because oh my God, the bloopers I can't.
Yeah,
even.
yeah. Let's put it this way: when I start editing, the original is way over an hour long. We're talking 80 minutes, 90, 120 minutes even, and it gets condensed down to. What are you doing there, Tom? You sneezing?
No. It
gets condensed down to, 50, 40,
40
35 minutes because some of the clips are 5 minutes long and it really only needs 30 seconds of it. But
It's
we
just
can't,
us laughing.
just can't stop laughing because all kinds of stuff, But
Just weird stuff.
so anyway, that's our little off the ranch. Off the ranch!
Off the ranch.
Off the ranch.
Off the
You want to
ranch.
volunteer to get in there, Tom?
I will.
Crawl in a wormhole or something.
Wormhole, yeah. I'll go up there. And
By the
hot
way,
air
they
balloon.
really did say wormholes.
They did. They really did.
It just, yeah.
I'll go up there in a hot
that's-
air balloon.
I know you would. I know you would. That's how ridiculous the show has gotten.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. There, Jim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much.
It is true. Jim does not have an upper lip,
Yes.
and Eric's ears are big, and his mouth is very tiny.
And Dragon's forehead's really big.
yeah,
Tom's
and so is Tom's.
forehead. And Eric does talk like this.
Yeah,
Eric
so-
does talk like this.
Like I said, we made a caricature out of all of them. So.
Yeah, we did.
But anyway, hope you guys like them. Do your thing. Do your outro.
Oh, okay.
And we'll be doing more because
We
we
will.
love making them. So
We do. We love making them.
it's just fun. So if you like them, great. If not,
Great.
keep it to yourself. Says Dragon. Okay, do your outro there, Tom.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please comment, rate, subscribe to be part of our Snow Unicorn Army.
Oh, that's going to look really weird.
Thumbs up and friend us on Twitch. It's www.twitch.tv/The Slytherin Twins. We were posting on there a lot, going live on Twitch all the time.
Is that the podcast?
That's
Oh.
the gaming channel.
Oh. Should do a podcast of Off the Ranch.
Another podcast?
Yeah. Or we'll just record this and make it.
A podcast.
Yeah, this is a podcast.
Off the ranch.
Off the ranch.
Off the ranch. But
Off the ranch, people.
listen to our podcast. You can go to anchor.fm/The Slytherin Twins, or just listen to our podcast, The Slytherin Twins, on the Anchor app if you have it. If not, just download it. And you can make your own podcast with it. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker. Follow us on Instagram at UnicornElsa09. You have to request to follow, and most likely I'm not going to let you follow me.
Because it's a child.
I'm a child. But follow us on TikTok at The Slytherin Twins.
You make great TikToks.
Thank you.
Family friendly,
They're all family friendly.
kid friendly, whatever.
I never ever use audio with a bad word in it
No.
or inappropriate song. Never.
And they're good.
He's in them.
I'm in some of them, yeah. But yeah, they're funny. You make really good TikToks.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And follow us on Twitter at Unicorn Elsa.
Man, that's mainly.
That's all me, and I'm not very active on Twitter. So.
And I'm cutting carbs starting tomorrow, so it's gonna be not good.
Gonna be struggling.
I watch these videos and see me getting fatter and fatter as they go along. Well, that's it for Off the Ranch episode 1.
But
We
really
will-
episode 6.
Yeah. So we will
Anyway.
see you.
Yeah.
And
Thanks for watching.
Bye.